Everyone, my name is Elizabeth Eratiemamo Hanistal. Today I'm going to be talking about that video that came out about the owner fencing the street, taking his fence out to the street, that school owner. I'm just going to also use this opportunity to give advice to people that are buying land or buying property in Benin. We want people to establish in Benin. We want people to buy more property in Benin. We also want people to invest in Benin. But when you're doing that, in order not to have problems, also try to find out more about the land or the property you are buying. I'm going to use my case as an example in this case. A lot of people, when buying property, they don't know anything like street or close is going to come up. There is a way that the government have in the government planning that it has been organized. They have their own calculation. Like, I'll give an example. It's just like after 3 houses or 4 houses, there's bound to be a street. After that, there's bound to be another street. So the government has designed, they have their own plan for design of different areas. So when buying a land, it will be very, very important to go and check, because these people selling land, they don't have ideas. Some do have ideas, but some don't have ideas. Some of them is greed, but some don't have idea about land, road. They don't have. They just believe that they are selling land. And after buying those land, you say that you want to do something there, or you want to do something with the government papers and all those things. And you start saying that the land that you have already built on is supposed to be road. So that becomes a very big problem. Let me use my case as an example. We bought a land, and that land, we just bought that land. It was big. So we bought that land and we paid for it and everything was done. We took survey, which the person came, survey the land, make the drawings and all. We were not aware at all that some part of that land was supposed to be reserved as road. So when we now went to the government and said, okay, now we're going to start to process the CFO papers and all those things, that is when we were now told that some part of that land is met as road. It's supposed to be road. And that road is going to be created there, that we should leave that part of land there with so measurement. So it was kind of a surprising thing. I felt really bad, and I said, okay, so maybe this owner of this land knew about this road and didn't say anything. And sometimes after thinking about it, maybe he's not even aware that there is going to be a road there. So the buyers, because since the sellers are not taking responsibility, the buyers should take responsibility. They should find out more about that land that they are going to buy. Don't be in a hurry to buy a land. Just be in a hurry to get the details ready. Even if you're going to pay to get the right answer, do that. Imagine if that land we bought was just a small land, and now almost half of it is going for road. That would be really, really sad. So many people, when they later find out that the land they bought, some part of it is meant for road, they don't want to do it, because maybe they already paid up to 1 million for that piece of land, and they have fenced it, they have built their house there, the money spent is too much. So they just put deft ear to that and said, oh, I paid for the land, so it's my land. But when late, if something comes up after those building and everything, if something comes up and there is a problem with that, the government might have to review your case again, might have to go into their calculations again. They'll go into their plan and now said, oh, this is your land that you are here, this house here is not supposed to be here. Due to the calculation, the town planning, this is not supposed to be road. And that in that case, they might take down your property. So please, let's try to do the right thing. Let's try to get more. This is not longer a time of people saying, I'm not aware, we don't know. Those times are gone. Now there's a lot of information out there. There are many ways of getting information. There are many ways of asking questions. There are many offices of finding out things and getting information. So don't use anything as an excuse to say, I don't know. This is not a time of I don't know. If you know what is at stake, that the way you've worked your money is so hard, then you should know that there are a lot of things that you need to do. When buying a land, try to go to the government office where you can check for those lands with the road part, because a lot of people have built their house on road. They don't even know. Many people, their houses, their calculation, if the government has to go into a lot of places, many places will be destroyed. Many people will cry. There will be a lot of tears running out, because many people, they've built their house on a place that is supposed to be road. There is even places that they are not even supposed to build their houses. Those People just buy land and just think that I buy land, I build it. No, it's not. It's more gone are those days. No, you have to find out more. There are places you're not even supposed to build a house. There are places that is supposed to be kept, not for building. There are lots of things these days, but people don't have ideas. The sellers don't care because they're looking for money. The buyers, I will beg the buyers to do their homework. Find out more before you put your money. This money is not easy to get. And after getting this money, you buy something, you build on it, and tomorrow the government comes and said, this place is not, it's supposed to be road. It's a very, very painful thing. In order to avoid that pains, I think it would be best that you do your homework, find out more. If you don't know, ask questions. If you don't know, tell somebody to ask somebody and get the right information. Because in our case, we were lucky that that land was big, and we decided to say, okay, no problem, we don't want to go through this stress. Let's just minus the road away from the land and keep the remaining one. Many people might not do it like that. They might think about how much they've paid for that land. They might think about the fence, the building that they have put in that place and said, no, I cannot take this. I have to keep it. I paid for it. And at the end of the day, the whole outcome will be disaster, will be big problems. So before, like that video, many people might not cry out. They just say, okay, put your fence for there now. We go take the other street. But no, people now are calling out. They're crying out these days and said, when they see something that is unfair, they speak out and said, this thing is not unfair. This is not supposed to be here. This is not supposed to be here. So now the people have started to cry out, which is a very good thing because that is how we learn. Then the people buying land should also learn that there are rules and regulations. We should not jump and just go to a place and even if we are told the rules and regulations, we use money, we use our levels to pass through it, and maybe the next person that's going to be appointed will not take your levels, will not take your bribe, will not take anything from you, will put that house down because the person has to stick by the rules and regulations. So let's do the right thing in order not to create more problems for others and for ourselves. Because it's really, really painful that you have whatever you've labored for, the government comes and puts it down because you didn't do the right thing. These people selling land, they don't care about anything. Most of them, they don't care. Most. If you want to buy land, go to agents, all these real estate agents, reliable sources, and even if you go to them, still try your possible best to find out yourself about that land. The measurement, the location, the road path, especially road, because this is going to be the next big thing. Because with all erosion, different things happening, it's houses that are built in a wrong place that are even causing some part of those problems. That means that there is no way any time in the time that the government will not try to look at that aspect. And when the government starts turning their face to look at what is really happening with houses building and all, you will find out that a lot of houses will be taken down. And that will be really, really sad. Why is it like that? Because people don't know these rules and regulations. They don't know that there are plans, there are regulations, there are places you're supposed to build, there are places, the calculations, all these things. They are not aware of all that. I think it's time for people to be aware. So please, guys, help me share this video. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to give this advice because I know that a lot of people are really affected by that. So when buying a land, especially people that live in diaspora that don't have any idea, they don't have any idea of what is really going on at home, they just send people to do the things for them, and later when the problem comes, they are the one that also have to solve this problem because it's just those ones buying the land for you will not solve the problems. They will call you for it and say, look at what's happening to your land. That's what you will get at the end of the day. So because of that, I will really beg you guys to do more. Find out more. If you have to just go to those the office and the government office and tell them, okay, I want to find out the measurement. I want to find out if this land, this is the measurement. Is it road or not? Those things am I supposed to build here, or is it a place of for farm or for something else? You find out those things so that you will not get problems later. Things are changing. These are not before that people just get their way or they just go about and do a lot of things. It's different now. So let's do our own work. Let's find out more before we start to raise building, before we start to raise fence, so that we don't happen to be in a difficult situation at the end of the day. Thank you so much for this video. I just wanted to leave this message because I know how painful it can be that the land, the house that you've labored for, all the stress and the government comes and take it down just because lack of awareness. I will call it lack of awareness, that because yes, it's sad that the government is putting down such buildings or such wall, but at the end of the day, law is law, and we have to try to do the right thing ourselves and not blame government in every way, that all governments are trying to cause pains when we didn't do our own work too. So thank you for this video. Please do help me share, because a lot of people might be really affected by this, and maybe when the government start to go into more of this to look at these things, and there might be a lot of problems. So for the new people that are going to buy property or land, please do your own work, because there are a lot of houses in Benin, there are a lot of houses in Edo State that is